What kinds of feelings would go through your mind when you'd have to go off to work, but then leave the kids home?
Is horrible. That piece of it was horrible because you always feel like you're not doing it well. Like you're doing a lot of things half-assed. I was doing my work half-assed. I was talking to other people half-assed because I was always thinking about what was happening at home. And then when I was at home, I was parenting half-assed because I was working so hard to get stuff ready for the next show. There was a lot of pressure and a lot of guilt, but I also was fiercely independent. There was this need to prove that I could do it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to prove to my daughter especially that you could be a strong woman in the world and you could make your own path. That always pushed me to keep going. I don't think it's bullshit. I don't think there is any balance. I think it's like a snow globe. You shake it up and you just accept that all of these things are coexisting in this little realm that we're living in. And you shake it up and you see where everything lands. And some days you do some things well, and some days you do other things well, and some days you do nothing well. And in the end, the most important thing to me was to make sure that my kids knew that they were loved, and that even if I was on the road, I'm still there. I'm still there for them. I called home every single night that I was on the road, and we had this night story that I would say to them every night before they went to bed. I mean, all the way until they were teenagers. And so every single night, didn't matter what show I was at, I would leave the booth and go call and do the night story and say goodnight to them. There would be people in the booth and I'd be like, sorry, this is what I'm doing. Maybe not doing everything well, but that was the most important thing, just to let them know that they were loved, and I'm doing this for myself and I'm doing this for them, and we're all going to be okay. I'll come back home. We'll have a good time, and hopefully they saw that as well. I think my son said something about, remembering his upbringing as being very manic and frantic, because it was like the work was it was manic mode. It was frantic mode. But the flip side was that then for 6 months I was home. I was home with them, and I was, going to all their activities. And I'm sitting in this, like, you see this yellow chair.
Yeah.
This is the studio chair. This is the chair that every day, this has always been in my studio, and the kids would come home from school, they'd walk in, and I'd be working in the studio, and it's where they would come in and they'd sit and they'd tell me about their day. It was the comfy chair where I could be working, and it was sort of like I'm sort of focusing on something else, and it gave them space to just say what they wanted to say. I have very fond memories. I have very happy memories of doing this kind of work with my kids around. I can wax poetic and like, I love them. I'm so proud of them. I just think the world of them, and they're good humans, and that's kind of all you can ask for.
Yeah.